Galactic Standard Date. Year 11356. Day 96. Sol Standard Date 4th of the 8th, 3267. Basilisk was smiling to himself as he designed the wings. He was making wings that were made of programmable hard light that was projected from a rather small orb that could be mounted on her back. The hard light would project itself into a stunning golden pair of wings styled after angel wings that had black flames lapping across the surface of the wings. With these wings, she could easily turn them off for comfort, while also being able to flex on the other wasps. She's going to be an empress to those vain and greedy wasps, so she should be flaunting her superior wealth to the other wasps. It was similar to how the previous queen's wings were styled as well, so it should be okay, he thought, as he put the finishing touches. Solon finished his designs and peeked over at Basilisk's designs. His eyes widened, and he smiled at him before muttering, "Damn, you're a fashion designer too, Hare. Guarantee that once it gets out among the Imperium that you design these things, there'll be a mass order for everyone to have their own." Basilisk glanced back at Solon and gave him a smile. "Think so? I thought these would look good. I'm glad you think so too." He looked back at the final design and tapped the button to fabricate it. Solon bumped Basilisk's design up to the top of the queue and started the construction in the ship's fabricators. Less than a minute later, a ding resounded throughout the ship, and Basilisk stared down at the fabricator while it opened to reveal the little wing projectors he had designed. He picked them up and nodded to Solon. "Thank you, Solon. I appreciate your help." He crouched through the corridor and made his way to the door. Just before he opened it, he felt a mental nudge from Amaranth, and he focused on their connection. She immediately spoke. "Bassie, I'm waiting out here with a bunch of terrified wasp people with another terrified wasp person at my back. Can you hurry and rescue me from the attention?" Basilisk chuckled and just opened the door without responding. As soon as the door opened, it revealed a very uncomfortable-looking dragon god and a mass of utterly horrified wasps who were just silently staring while completely petrified. He cleared his throat, and Amaranth looked relieved as she gracefully leapt from the crowd and landed next to Basilisk with hardly any sound. He smiled at her and patted her neck. She slowly transformed into a human form, and Morelia took that as her cue to hop off of Amaranth's back. She landed behind Basilisk. He turned towards her and knelt down so that he could be closer to eye level with her. "Morelia, sorry about throwing all this responsibility on you. I asked a very well-known and efficient AI to come to help you adjust. His name is Solon, and you'll meet him soon. First off, though, I want to introduce you to these people as their new queen. Is that alright with you? I also have a present that I'll be giving you while I introduce you. Should go for quite the dramatic effect." Morelia looked down as she thought on his words for a moment. This was, after all, a major turning point in her life. Probably the most major turning point of any wasp's life. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath before giving Basilisk a weak smile and saying, "Yeah, if I can get help from someone who knows what they're doing, then that might work. I am nervous. I can't fail here. If I fail, it's not only me, but everyone else that suffers. It's a lot." Basilisk patted her head and smiled at her. "That's actually why I like you. You realize that leaders are meant to lead, not rule. You'll do just fine." He scooted her in front of him and crouched down behind her to hook up the wings. He cast his gaze outward to the crowd while his hands went to work on the wings. He took a deep breath. "This here is Morelia. She is like you, wingless. She has lived a life of persecution and despair, yet she has overcome her fears. She has grown as a person instead of falling into the pit of despair that existed all around her. I have witnessed her and deemed her worthy of leading your people back into the light. Meet your new queen," he yelled out, as he activated the wings. The massive golden wings of light shot forth and put themselves on full display as they showed the black fires blazing across their servers. The crowd of servants fell to their knees and began crying with their hands clasped together for some reason. Some were just outright sobbing, while others seemed to be muttering something under their breath. Morelia had just stared at the wings with a completely baffled expression. Basilisk ignored the crowd and patted her head again. "Told you I'd get you new wings. Designed them myself. Oh, also, they work based on the impulses sent from your brain that the nanos pick up, so that means that they will perform just like regular wings. Seeing as your species uses wings naturally, it should be easy to fly again," he said, with a big-ass grin plastered on his face. Tears had begun flowing from her eyes as she tested the wings and slowly acclimated to how they worked. She hadn't really flown in any kind of recent memory, so it was primarily instinct she was going off of. Eventually, she managed to sync up their movements and then gave a light wing beat to bring her a foot off the ground. After she dropped back down, she turned and stared up at Basilisk with wide eyes before a massive smile graced her features, and she tried to keep herself airborne. She managed to bring herself up to Basilisk's head level before giggling and then giving the wings a real test. She yelled, "I can fly!" at the top of her lungs as she pushed the wings as hard as she could. After a few minutes, she got confident and started doing tricks in the air. A golden trail started flying from the wings once she got enough speed, and it made her look like a golden streak in the sky. As Morelia was flying around, Solon walked out carrying an armful of wings for the servants who were busy staring at Morelia with admiration in their eyes. He made it to the back of the crowd before clearing his throat and waiting for them to turn around towards him. As soon as he had their attention, he started handing out pairs of wings to the wingless servants, who were just staring at the new wings, slack-jawed. Once Solon had handed out the last one, he cleared his throat again, and stood up straight as he spoke. "These wings are yours now. They will be easy to replace if they happen to get damaged, and they will work in much the same fashion that hers worked in. Once applied to the proper spot on your back, you hit the button on the joint, and it will trigger the nanites that will fuse it to your bone and nervous system. This won't hurt in the slightest. Once the application is finished, you'll be flying around with ease, just like her," he said, as he pointed to the golden streak in the sky.